If North Korea starts adopting this technology, I would really heavily advise to get your soldiers away from the open view.
If they receive good training from Russia, I think they could become proficient operators of FPVs.
Hi, this is Hejun Seo.
Hello everyone, I'm Dale Park from Radio Free Asia again.
Today in studio we have Federico Borsari. Is that how you pronounce your name? Okay.
Yes.
Should I go again?
No, that was great, just go with it. Today we are virtually joined by a leading expert on this, Thomas Marcus from RSA Europe. Today we are focusing on very intriguing and complex topic.
The use of Russian drones in Ukraine. So hello.
Hello, nice to meet you, and thanks for having me.
We have seen the FPV drones, which you will be talking about in a very simplistic terms, because we're hearing very much about this usage in Russia and Ukraine, but we're not exactly sure what it is. So can you kind of delve into what the drone is actually for?
Yeah, so actually FPV drones or first-person view drones.
So FPV drones are a quadcopter drone.
Were not initially part of the war in Ukraine, and especially during the first year of the invasion, we didn't see instances and examples of that specific type of drones being used by either Ukraine or Russia, simply because they were not considered as something useful at that time for military operations. So FPV or first-person view drones started to be used, I would say, in the spring of 2023. And FPV drones actually are a very common tool that you can find almost everywhere.
I can see in your screen there is a part of FPV drone as well on your shack.
That's an FPV drone. As you can see, it has 4 propellers, frame, the battery here. It's called SPAC. It has radio communication link, it has video communication link, and of course the electronic stack to control the operations.
They were introduced as drones to be used by hobbyists, but Ukraine had actually a very interesting idea to basically try to use those type of drones to basically attack Russian units.
And how does this small drone be able to attack on another territory when it's so small and so cheap to obtain? How is it so useful?
Probably when they started, they didn't have a clear let's say sense of what they were doing. But then after they started to experiment, they recognized the potential of the technology.
North Korea troops are being in Kursk area right now, and they're deploying the front line right now. What do you expect if one of your drones or one of Ukraine drones find out the North Korean troops on the battleground? What will be happen?
I would really heavily advise to get your soldiers away from the open view. They must go underground because at least in Ukraine, anything that is out in the open is target and it becomes a casualty very soon. We're not talking about hours, we're talking about minutes.
It is not good idea to fight back to FPV drones, even if you encounter at the battleground.
No, it's too fast and too agile. The drone moves at you at 150 kilometers per hour. You have around 1 second before it hits you. After you spot it, you can spot it from like 100 meters. So you have around 1 second until the drone covers that distance.
So how long does it typically take for one man to learn how to use this drone?
Typically, it takes a few weeks, I would say, if not longer, depending on how many hours you spend per day to train with that system, to get, to become, I would say, proficient in using it. So it's not really an overnight process. It takes some time. Even people that haven't had any experience with drones before can become proficient pilots or operators if they are exposed to, and if they undergo, a good amount of training. Also, that case applies to North Koreans. If they receive good training from Russia, I think they could become proficient operators of FPVs.
Once you learn to use FPV drones, you're good for life. For all FPV drones, it's like riding a bike. You just need some basic cognitive skills to understand how the physics and mechanics work.
And also, I heard from Ukraine military and also U.S. State Department that they have information that North Korea troops are getting trained FPV drones training by Russian soldiers. The one question I have is the terrain in Ukraine with plains and trench are very different from North and South Korea. There are more mountains. How might these differences impact the effectiveness of tactic of FPV drones? Do you think they learn from Ukraine territory and they can use it in the Korean Peninsula, like different territory?
So where FPV drones start to encounter some of the limitations is above 3 kilometers above the sea level, where you have cold temperatures and thinner air. So you can go further than 3 kilometers, but you need a bit more hardened drones.
So using drones in such different landscape can be of course very different. It really much depends on what type of technologies does, for instance, North Korea have, right, and what type of communication systems it has in place for using drones of that type. Because of course mountains and mountainous regions represent obstacles for using specific technologies that rely on communication, signaling and connections between the technology itself and the operator.
Depending on it would be a different fight, and tactics would have to evolve if that would happen in very mountainous terrain. But the usage it can be operated in any terrain.
Every soldier now with an FPV has the opportunity to be really to strike a target, basically, beyond line of sight. We're talking about 20, 30 kilometers sometimes. I think FPVs are unleashing a new phase in warfare, where we will see a lot of different type of smaller systems being used by infantry units or land forces at scale to strike the enemy.
We talked about the usage of FPV drones, which is more frequently being used in both Russia and Ukraine.
Specifically, North Korea possible usage or North Korea possible damage by Ukraine drones.
So look forward to more videos like this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Okay, and that's a cut.